has to be said, of course, that Prince Harry was very, very well graphic, in fact, on exactly how the British monarchy worked, particularly in the popularity stakes. You know, as he pointed out, it was all about getting the column inches, getting in with the editors, inviting them over to Buckingham Palace on these alleged select private parties, which nobody else knew about, but apparently Harry and Meghan were well appertaining to. And this was really what got you the front pages, the popularity, that sort of stuff. But he felt that he didn't need those. And he felt also that he and his wife, Meghan, had done such a sterling job when they went out to Australia themselves that nobody thanked them for a great thing that she'd done. Apparently she was brilliant at the job. Brilliant at the job means stepping out of a chauffeur-driven car, shaking hands with people, looking slightly interested in what they've got to say, and the odd speech here and there. Hopefully, the odd speech not being about yourself, but that's Meghan. She kind of made it about herself, if you remember. But now things have taken a turn, a darker twist, should I say, for Meghan and Harry back in California. Let me explain. Morning, good to see you. Thank you so much as ever. We're just starting to rain. Yes, I know, I've just started, and you see, this is what I mean. Now, let me get... By the way, can I just say thank you for your lovely comments regarding the state of London and those Christmas lights in the very prestigious Jermyn Street. I know, I couldn't believe it myself. I mean, what a lacklustre affair. You better not putting them up. I know I've had better lights strung up in my back room, haven't you? Your next thing we'll be having paper lanterns. I mean, it's just ridiculous. If they can't really decorate a wonderful capital city like this the way it should be, then why bother? Now, some might say, of course, it's a little bit like Meghan and Harry. Why bother? Indeed, because, of course, their popularity has plummeted to an all-time low, all thanks to things like The Hollywood Reporter, Diva Duchess, and, staff quitting, that sort of stuff. You can't stop stuff like that. That's the problem. Once it starts, you get the picture. But here's where it gets really interesting, because as we know, His Majesty the King, King Charles III, and our Queen, Queen Camilla, have just enjoyed a phenomenal, successful tour out in Australia. And, just being great response, bigger crowds than ever before. And let's not forget, as I pointed out the other day, I have a lot of admiration for the fact, of course, that His Majesty the King is still undergoing all of that treatment for his own personal health journey. And you have to admire that, truly. It must take a lot of effort to just carry on doing those things. You could see that Camilla was very concerned at certain points, and rightly so. But according to an inside track, Harry and Meghan were watching that particular Australian tour like vultures and hawks over in Montecito. This is because they truly believed at some point, and they were told this by their team, as ever, allegedly, that there would be people out there asking the question, how's Harry? Where's Meghan? Can't you make up? Where were the placards? Where's Harry? Where's Meghan? They truly thought that this was the case, that they were going to be pinpointed and actually talked about on the tour. In fact, they were, sort of stunned, according to this source, that that didn't come up. And so much so that, of course, the paranoia that sets in to people like Harry and Meghan, they believe that it was deliberately taken away. But genuinely, nobody asked about them. That's because people have moved on, they've washed their hands, they're yesterday's news. And what you saw out there really was, a reinvigorated monarchy. Lots of people thrilled to see His Majesty the King, and he looked like he was having the time of his life. I was thrilled for him, genuinely, as was the Queen. I just thought she's such a giggler, isn't she? I quite like the fact that she gets the giggles at the most inopportune moments. A bit like me, you can't help it. So if you think about it, Harry and Meghan, who were told by their team, yes, people will want to know what's happening with you and where were you and, all that sort of stuff. Nobody mentioned them in newscasts. There were no placards, and not one person asked on all those numerous walkabouts with His Majesty the King, how's your youngest son? And that really was a bit of a reality hit for the X2 royals. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.